Whose phone is ringing? Correct, your phone is ringing. Tony Poa. Dia kat dia punya photostat. Where's your photostat copies? Now why should I ask you to come? Just call check. Who are the TV stations here? ABC Australia, thank you. Welcome to Malaysia. Next, Kini TV. That one is the True TV, yes.
Asian Progressive TVN.
ABN, thank you. Ubah TV adalah tentu. Sorry? Oh, CANA ya? Okay, right. That's
RTN tak ada.
RTN TV3. Saya tengok sini, saya tengok tak ada. Ubah TV adalah. Itu tak henti.
Telefon ROS. CCL, of course. SPR.
Plus the other one. The other letter. Give one to them. Ask them to give lah.
Give the press, give the press.
Ipang Anthony fame Yang Chang give one here please. Maybe English talk. Here everyone and this here.
Give one to
the original copy lah. Saya tak faham. Saya sekarang nak cerita tentang itu dua salinan surat yang saya terima daripada Jabatan Pendaftaran Pertubuhan Malaysia. This one we only received today, isn't it? Yes. Fax copy ya. Yeah. So saya pun tak faham mengapa dia hantar 17 tapi kita terima 18. Ini yang agak luar biasa. Okay.
They faxed it late yesterday.
Yesterday night.
We only saw it today.
We saw it this morning. Tapi kita ada dua salinan surat di sini. Nah, itu yang kita ragukan kebebasan Jabatan Pendaftaran Pertubuhan Malaysia, di mana selepas kita terima surat, kita sebut bahawa tidak ada masalah kerana pihak Jabatan Pendaftaran Pertubuhan Malaysia telah menangguhkan pendengaran ataupun penyiasatan ke 9 hari bulan Mei 2013. Tapi pada hari yang sama pula berikan satu surat kepada saya sebagai Setiausaha Agung. Sungguh dia cakap tak akui saya sebagai Setiausaha Agung, tapi masih sebut saya sebagai Setiausaha Agung, bahawa tidak memberi pengiktirafan kepada pemegang jawatan Parti Tindakan Demokratik yang dibentuk di Jalan Kuasa Tertinggi Pusat pada 15 Disember 2012. So ini saya rasa adalah amat luar biasa sekali. Dan sebut saya saudara lagi. Bila saya jadi saudara sama dia, saudara Lim Guan Eng. Surat yang pertama, Encik Anthony Loke. Ini secara rasmi lah, formal. Encik Anthony Loke, Setiausaha Organisasi Kebangsaan, susulan daripada perjumpaan di antara saya dengan Datuk Datuk Abdul Rahman bin Osman. Datuk Abdul Rahman bin Osman, iaitu Ketua Pengarah Jabatan Pendaftaran Pertubuhan Malaysia. Bila beliau jumpa sama saya pada 5 hari bulan April di pejabat saya di Pulau Pinang, dalam kamar bilik VIP Ketua Menteri Pulau Pinang, selepas saya bubarkan Dewan Undangan Negeri Pulau Pinang sebagai caretaker Chief Minister dan juga sebagai Setiausaha Agung DAP, Datuk Abdul Rahman datang sendiri jumpa sama saya tentang isu berkaitan dengan siasatan ini dan memberikan jaminan, sekarang sibuk, kita nak berkenalan, tapi ini adalah satu prosedur biasa, tak apa, kita nak ambil sedikit siasatan sebagai satu courtesy. Beliau jumpa sama saya amat tersentuh. Saya cakap, okey, kita setuju, kerana sibuk kempen pilihan raya, kita boleh tangguh selepas pilihan raya. Dan ini disusuli dengan surat tarikh 17 hari bulan April yang menyatakan ditangguh pada 9 hari bulan Mei, ditandatangani oleh Arsyad bin Kamaluddin ASP, bahagian pematuhan, iaitu yang menyiasat kes ini. Beliau setuju tangguh 9 Mei 2013. Dan Datuk Abdul Rahman sendiri memberikan jaminan kepada saya, beliau tidak akan buat sebarang keputusan sehingga siasatan selesai, sehingga beliau mendapat laporan penuh daripada penyiasat beliau. Nyata ini belum selesai kerana siasatan ditangguh kepada 9 hari bulan Mei. So surat diterima oleh parti DAP pada 17 hari bulan April. 17 hari bulan April. Hari yang sama, tiba-tiba ada satu lagi surat, notis menurut Seksyen 16.1 Akta Pertubuhan bahawa jawatan CEC tidak diiktiraf. Pemegang jawatan Parti Tindakan Demokratik yang dibentuk oleh Jawatankuasa Tertinggi Pusat pada 15 Disember 2012 tidak diiktiraf. Tapi saya masih digelarkan sebagai Setiausaha Agung DAP. So ini dia cakap, dia buat secara pukul mulut sendirilah. Saya pun tak tahu bila mereka tulis surat, tulis sebagai saudara. Ini pun kali pertama kerajaan ada tulis surat bagi saudara. Saya amat marah sebagai Setiausaha Agung, dan saya nak tegaskan di sini, saya adalah Setiausaha Agung sahih yang dipilih oleh wakil-wakil parti DAP. Tidak ada sesiapa boleh menafikan hakikat ini. Sama seperti Setiausaha Organisasi, sama seperti Timbalan Pengurusi ataupun Setiausaha Publicity. Dan untuk menyatakan tidak mahu mengiktiraf pemegang jawatan apabila mereka dalam hari yang sama telah tulis surat bahawa siasatan ditangguhkan, sekarang tak mahu iktiraf, nyata adalah satu sabotaj terhadap DAP supaya kita tidak boleh menggunakan simbol DAP dalam pilihan raya yang akan datang. Ini adalah salah satu taktik kutuk daripada Barisan Nasional. Jelas ia di bawah kongkongan caretaker minister. Kerana mengapa boleh ada 2 surat dalam sehari yang bercanggah dan berlainan? Ini satu muslihat yang jahat, satu grand design Barisan Nasional untuk pastikan DAP tak boleh bertanding menggunakan simbol kita, kerana Barisan Nasional takut kalah. Takut kalah tak apa, takut mati lagi. Itulah sebabnya surat ini dikeluarkan. Saya ingin menyatakan di sini bahawa parti DAP tidak akan terima begitu sahaja arahan sedemikian. Kita tetap akan lawan. Bukan sahaja tentang notis ini yang kita rasa adalah zalim, adalah sungguh zalim dan aniaya sama sebuah parti pembangkang, sama sebuah parti komponen Pakatan Rakyat. Kita akan lawan keputusan ini dan kita tetap akan bertanding. Kalau kita tak boleh gunakan simbol roket, kalau kita tak boleh gunakan simbol roket, kita akan pastikan kita terus bertanding. Mungkin nanti kita akan adakan mesyuarat. Mungkin saya rasa kita akan pilih simbol PAS. Mungkin kita akan pilih simbol PAS di Semenanjung, mungkin simbol PKR di Sabah Sarawak. Saya ingin meminta ahli-ahli dan penyokong-penyokong parti DAP supaya bersikap tenang. Saya tahu, saya terima ada banyak mesej, banyak suara bimbang tentang apa yang berlaku. Dalam 40 lebih tahun, 47 tahun DAP diwujudkan, kita tak pernah lihat taktik sedemikian. Kita pun tak pernah lihat taktik sedemikian dijalankan ke atas sebuah parti politik sehari sebelum penamaan calon. Penamaan calon pada hari Sabtu. Ini dilakukan pada hari ini. Hari ini, pagi ini baru kita terima. Apa ni? Kerana nak lawan, biarlah kita lawan. Dan kalau kita kalah di medan peperangan, di medan pilihan raya, kita terima. Tapi jangan bertindak macam pengucut. Jangan bertindak sedemikian. Saya rasa itu menghina demokrasi. Itu menunjukkan satu sikap takut kalah yang amat sangat, sehingga gunakan taktik-taktik kotor. Dan saya rasa taktik biadab sedemikian. Yang penting ialah sebab-sebab yang diberikan tak ada kaitan langsung dengan masalah posting, masalah kesilapan posting yang berlaku dalam pemilihan parti. Ini adalah berkaitan dengan notis. Sekarang di mana pemegang jawatan kuasa tertinggi pusat tidak diiktiraf, bukanlah kerana kesilapan posting, tapi kerana kononnya kita tidak bagi notis kepada semua wakil. Ini adalah satu fitnah besar, kerana perkara ini tidak pernah timbul. Tidak pernah timbul langsung. Selama ini hanya dimain-mainkan dalam surat khabar. Selama ini yang ditimbulkan isu ialah kesilapan posting. Tapi sekarang yang kesilapan posting ini di tanggal 9 hari bulan Mei, ini pula tentang tidak iktiraf jawatan kuasa tertinggi pusat DAP, adalah kerana dia cakap, oh, kita tidak bagi notis kepada 753 wakil. Mana ada 753 wakil? yang tak hadir. I think you check with Miss to get the
Tidak hadir.
Richard 53 that didn't turn up.
Tidak hadir.
Tidak hadir.
Bukannya tidak nafikan.
Tidak dinafikan. Bukan 753 wakil hak mereka dinafikan. Tapi saya rasa saya ada maklumat. You careful. The numbers may not be accurate also. You got the numbers. Ask him to send it down. Ini jumlah ini kita akan berikan nanti berapa wakil yang tidak hadir pada hari tersebut. So sekarang CEC Jawatankuasa Tertinggi Pusat sekarang diambil tindakan. Ia tidak diiktiraf oleh Jabatan Pertubuhan Malaysia, bukan kerana kesilapan posting dalam pemilihan, tapi kita tidak diiktiraf kerana tidak diberikan notis kepada wakil-wakil. Ini karut sama sekali. Adakah kerana ada wakil yang tak hadir itu bermakna kita tak bagi notis? Dia ada sebab lain. Macam bila kita nak buang undi, ada hak mau atau tak mau buang undi. Sama juga dengan itu Kongres Parti. Wakil-wakil ada hak untuk mau atau tak mau hadir. Tapi perkara ini tak pernah ditimbul. Sekarang ditimbul. Saya rasa itu Saudara Gobind Singh nanti akan memberikan suatu penjelasan secara panjang lebar. Tapi di sini jelas tujuan utama tidak mengiktiraf pemilihan parti pemegang jawatan ialah untuk menafikan hak parti mengeluarkan surat wakil, surat kuasa untuk menggunakan simbol parti DAP. Kalau saya sebagai Setiausaha Agung DAP tidak boleh menggunakan kuasa untuk mengeluarkan surat wakil atau surat kuasa guna simbol parti DAP, iaitu roket, itu bermakna calon-calon kita tidak boleh gunakan simbol roket. Kalau sedemikian, kita tentu akan mempertahankan hak kami di mahkamah. Tapi untuk memastikan calon-calon DAP terus boleh bertanding, saya telah berbincang dengan saudara Mustafa Ali. Ini betul-betul saudara dia, yang itu saudara palsu. Ini betul-betul saudara. Dan beliau serta-merta datang bersedia membenarkan calon-calon DAP menggunakan simbol bulan, iaitu PAS, untuk bertanding dalam PRU 13. Sama juga dengan PKR. Saudara Saifuddin Nasution sebagai Setiausaha Agung PKR pun bersetuju. Mungkin untuk Sabah Sarawak kita dibenarkan untuk menggunakan simbol PKR. Ini cadangan saya, ini kemungkinan. Semua ini akan disahkan bila kita adakan mesyuarat tergempar CEC Jawatankuasa Tertinggi Pusat nanti pada malam ini. So itu yang saya nak sebut. Ada apa-apa soalan sebelum saya berikan laluan kepada yang lain-lain?
Why did the SPR said that DAP can use their rocket?
When did they say that?
They just said that.
But in what sense? Is there a written statement? Is it in black and white?
Well, the deputy
We are not going to risk the entire election campaign based on one or two promises by SPR when they have shown promises they made are always broken. Give us in black and white. State very clearly that you will ensure that the elections are called off. That if you give us assurance in black and white that we can use our symbol, because now the ROS say that we cannot issue letters of authority because they do not recognize us as office bearers. Myself as Secretary General of the DAP. So now SPR says they are willing to accept. On what basis? Will that question or put the legality in question? We want this in black and white. Because if you don't fulfill your promise, then what will happen? You will not be allowed to use a symbol. We will contest as independent. Cannot. They must give that in black and white. And if you cannot fulfill that promise, then there must be a fresh election call. Are they willing to do that? We are not going to take that risk because we don't trust SPR, just as we don't trust ROS. One day can come out with 2 letters, you know, different letters. What is this? 2-headed snake.
So far at your side, did any attempt to clarify the 2 letters on the same day?
No, we couldn't get him already. He switched off his phone. Before that, we could get Dr. Abdul Rahman. Now, when we try to get Dr. Abdul Rahman, this Saudara Anthony Lok has been trying to contact him. No response. He switched off his phone. Before that, he was accessible.
Another issue, whether any possibilities in taking injunction against...
Not enough time. You take injunction, I think I'll leave that to Saudara Govind. But we think there's not enough time. Before I pass on to Saudara Govind, are there any other related questions? Not on law?
Do you see it as a setback for DAP in this election? Do you see it as a setback?
I think we see this in a way, you know, just like the word crisis. Behind every crisis, there's an opportunity. I think this is an opportunity for DAP to also let the people know how dirty Barisan Nasional is. That they are willing to do such underhand tactics to win without honor. If they win, they want to win with honor and dignity. They win without honor. But we will not let that push us back. We will contest. If not under the symbol of DAP, we will contest under the symbol of our partners in Pakatan Rakyat, our loyal partners, PAS, probably in Peninsular Malaysia, PKR, probably in East Malaysia.
So can you make your statement in English just now, whatever time is?
Yes, later. But can I answer the questions first? I'll do that again later, after we finish.
Will it cause any confusion for you? I mean, is it going to...
We have no choice. But then we will go around the country to explain. And I'm sure the people can see that this is a dirty tactic to sabotage and try to kill off the DAP. They see our crowds in our charamas. And they see the response, the support from the people. They do not dare to face us fair and square. Man to man, woman to woman. They are now trying to sabotage us by not allowing us to use our rocket. I say this is despicable. This is dishonorable. This is the worst Barisan Nasional you ever see in history. Other Barisan Nasional governments, they take you on. Here, they knock you out before you can explain by assassination. This is character assassination. This is political assassination. I am very upset by these underhand tactics. I'm sure our supporters are equally upset. But we will not take this lying down. We will continue to fight because the rights and the future of the people of Malaysia is much more important. And that's why we say, if we are not allowed to use a rocket symbol for the first time in 47 years, we will rely on our partners in PAS or PKR. That this is the DAP candidate, but we are compelled to use PAS and PKR symbols, which they have so generously and in the spirit of comradely brotherhood and sisterhood agreed to let us and allow us to use it.
It is believed that they tried to freeze the DAP bank account as well. Can you comment on that?
We have not received any information on that. So far, not yet. But of course, you never know lah. When these fellas are dirty, you know, nothing is beyond them.
Mr. Lim, are you going to try and meet the EC tomorrow?
We have communicated to the EC, but meeting them is meaningless if they don't give you something in black and white. And nomination is on Saturday, you know.
Yeah.
You look at the EC chairman, the secretary, their words are not worth anything. So many times they have made promises they have never kept. If we believe what they say and we go in and it doesn't happen. That's risky, you know. You are coming in as an independent. We are not independents. We are under DAP, we are under Pakatan Rakyat. Come on lah. You want to fight fair and square. Even Singapore government, you always say Singapore government very oppressive, they don't do this sort of thing. Malaysia government now has shown they are worse than Singapore. Any other questions?
Will you be writing a letter to PC then, or will you just consider it that?
No, we are communicating. To our lawyers, we are communicating. Both in writing as well as by telephone conversation. We try also to do the necessary contacts. I even text a message to the EC chairman to ask him to contact me. But so far, no response. So we will continue to do so. But as I said now, you are running out of time. If they do this 24 hours before nomination, we only got this today. Less than 48 hours before nomination. Don't you think that this is sneaky, underhanded? This is dirty, and this is completely like Myanmar like that. Now worse than Myanmar. Even worse than Myanmar. Any other questions?
So if the registrar of society said that no, it's nice and easy, does it mean that, like, I mean, I'm just saying, can you compare it to like when UMNO was deregistered back in the 80s? Is it the same scenario, same situation?
No. The question of deregistration doesn't arise. It is they have taken because the question of there must be a reason for that deregistration, number one.
Yes.
And then that is dependent on investigation relating to the mistake on the posting for our CEC elections. But they have not completed their investigation. Deregistration is one of the punishment that can be meted out if you don't comply with the rules. But we have not even gone past those stages yet. Investigation is still not completed. So when you are in the process of investigation, how can you punish? You punish. There's no natural justice. No natural justice, never mind. You execute a preemptive judgment and punishment. Just say they say that, oh, pending investigation, your top leadership is not recognized. Now, you're not deregistered. They say, oh, we didn't deregister you. You are not recognized. Now, what is the purpose? When you are not recognized, their main intention is they do not allow you to issue letters of authority authorizing your candidates to use the rocket symbol. That is their purpose. Because if your position is not recognized, that means you are not the Secretary General of the party who has the authority to issue letters of authority. Because only the Secretary General, elected office bearers, Secretary General has the highest office holder in the DAP, is the only person that can issue such letters of authority. And now when my position and all my elected colleagues in the party are not recognized, no one can issue letters of authority. That means we have to contest as independent. You understand? So that's why I said just now, we do not want to contest as independent. We have got our partners who have generously accommodated us. They said, no problem, you can use our symbol. In Malaysia, likely we use PAS. In East Malaysia, likely we use PKR. They will sign letters of authority for us. And that's why they are here today to attest to that. And this is where we show when we are in crisis and under severe attack, you know who your real friends are. They will stand by you.
So they don't have to be members or anything, but they can just sign as a
No, when you issue a letter of authority, it is up to the party whether they want to issue to you or not. You don't need to be a member. Normally, you need to. But these are unusual circumstances. This is instances of emergency for us, unusual circumstances, where we are under attack, unfair attack. We are stabbed in the back, literally, underhanded attacks, and to deny us the right to use our symbol so that we can win in the coming elections.
But you still haven't said, would this diminish your chances or affect your chances?
That is where I think we let the people decide whether they support such underhanded tactics. And so far the messages that we get is one of anger, that they want to deny DAP from using our symbol. Just by saying that, the top leadership is now not recognized. Not recognized is not, does not mean it's deregistered. No, it is still there. But our CEC is not recognized. We don't have powers to issue letters of authority. And I think that is ridiculous. Okay? Any other questions?
What's the rationale behind the decision to use PAS logo in Venezuela and KKR in isolation?
Balance, ma. We all have two sides. Balance. We want to show that it's not only one that helps us, two also help us. Just like you, when you are under attack, you not only get your mother to help, your father also help, isn't it? You do not only get your brother to help, your sister also help, isn't it? So it is not one. It is not only we fight this battle singly. It is all for one for all. Okay? Yeah, Kit wants to say something.
Just add a few words. The SG has mentioned that this is an attempt to kill off the DAP in the 13th general election. In fact, it is more than that. It's an attempt to kill democracy in Malaysia. It has never been done by any of the previous prime ministers. However authoritarian, draconian, unjust Dr. Mahathir had been, this has never entered his mind to try to resort to such arbitrary, unilateral, undemocratic, and most disgraceful action to knock out a political party from the elections by the ruse of denying the use of the party symbol. The Prime Minister has talked about wanting to make Malaysia the world's best democracy. This is not the route for Malaysia to become the world's best democracy, but it's the worst democracy. For the first time in 56 years, there's an opportunity for change. But we are seeing the Barisan Nasional showing its worst colors. I believe that the people of Malaysia, regardless of race, religion, will express their utter outrage. This is an occasion for a greater political awareness to show the need to make full use of this opportunity to bring about real change in the country.
We're going to say something legally.
Before we answer, Mr. Pai and Mr. Tiong to say a few words.
I think Tuan, it's off really. Not long enough.
Not long enough.
Can't sit here lah.
So maybe stand up.
Come to the center.
Come to the center. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, I think this notice that we received from the ROS today is a complete abuse of process in terms of law. If you look at the letter, there are two reasons given for the decision or behind the decision taken to de-recognize the CEC that was elected on the 15th of December last year. Now, if you look at what is stated in this letter, it appears the first part that it speaks of is that the there is a dispute or questions raised as regards the election of the CEC members on the 15th of December 2012. And the reason given is because at that point of time, Saudara Vincent was not a properly elected leader in the CEC. But I think it is quite clear that after the 15th of December 2012, when we were informed of the fact that there were mistakes in the calculation, as a result of which Saudara Vincent was not properly elected, there was another meeting held by those CEC members that were rightfully elected, and it is that meeting that decided and formed a new CEC. So the new CEC was formed on the 4th of January 2013. So if you look at this letter, it is very, very clear that the question of the ROS having concerns about the CEC formed on the 15th of December 2012 doesn't arise. It doesn't arise. It appears that even the ROS does not know what it's talking about. It has got the wrong CEC, the wrong election. So this is an example of how it is. We say that this is a complete abuse of process. And the timing of them making a decision based on this flimsy and irrelevant grounds, again, brings home the point that it is most probably politically motivated. Now, if you look at the second reason given, the second reason given is about how it is some branches have complained that they did not receive notice in time. Now, let me say this. Prior to this, we have been called up by the ROS, and they have been investigating complaints which relate to the mode of calculation of the election results.
Posting. Mistake in posting.
So, it has never been the case that they were investigating this allegation about how these notices were given late and so forth. So the question is this: why is it that while you have been investigating us for the last 3 months, and then now suddenly you give a reason which is something which you have kept quiet about all this while? And again, I challenge the ROS to tell us, when did they get these complaints? Please let us know the dates of these complaints, because if you look at the dates of the complaints, it will be obvious that these complaints were received long ago. Because I think if you look back at a Star report some 3 weeks ago, mention was made by a Barisan Nasional Member of Parliament about this as well. So the question is, if you have known about this for so long, why do you wait until 1 day before nomination and issue a letter to us whereby you say you don't recognize the CEC of the 15th of December 2012? Now, I think the ROS has to explain this. It is very, very clear, especially looking at the timing of this entire fiasco, that there's only one reason why this letter was sent to us today. And it is clear that it is because it is to impact on the DAP in terms of the election. Now, a question was raised earlier about whether or not we're going to take it to court. Now, we are currently in the process of getting legal opinion. Now, of course, we will fight it. There is no doubt we will fight it. But given the nature of time constraints, nomination day is less than 48 hours a week. In practical terms, it will be almost impossible for us to get any recourse from courts. Therefore, again, the question which arises is this: why now? Why wait till the very last minute and issue this letter, when the grounds given in support of making this decision are grounds which were available to the ROS very, very long ago? Irrelevant, illogical, and as I said, the timing says it all. Any questions from the press? Santiran?
Referred
Yes.
ROS, you're saying that based on this letter, how you can interpret that which resulted that the party symbol cannot be used?
What happens is this. Now, if sorry.
How the mechanism works?
Okay, it's as simple as this. Now, in order for an organization, a political organization, to use a symbol, the CEC must issue a letter. The CEC, a decision is taken, a letter is then issued by the Secretary General which allows candidates to use the symbol of the party. So normally on nomination day, the letter goes along with the candidates. Now, having done this at this last hour, 11th hour, you put us in a spot, because now the question is this: can the SG issue a letter when the ROS has said that it does not recognize the entire CEC, which means that the composition, the office bearers as well, become questionable. So if that is the case, now we take letters from the SG or signed by the SG to the nomination center on Saturday morning. Now what happens if the EC officer there says, look, as far as we're concerned, following a letter from ROS dated the 17th, we do not recognize the authority of the SG to issue this letter. Then where do you go from there? In fact, I'm surprised by the question earlier, where apparently there is a report which says that we can use the symbol. Just before this meeting, I was actually speaking as I walked in. Some of you have noticed I was on the phone. I was actually speaking to a legal officer from the ROS. And insofar as they are concerned, they say, look, they stand by this letter. To them, there is a letter dated 17 which clearly says that the CEC is not recognized. Now, unless we can convince them by letter, otherwise, this position stands. So again, you see, blowing hot and cold. And I think the SG is entirely correct. Who are we to believe? There was supposed to be an investigation today. We were supposed to appear at the ROS with 2 witnesses. But because of the fact that it was at 11th hour and the election was around the corner, we wrote to them for an adjournment. They wrote back to us yesterday, agreeing to the adjournment and postponing the inquiry to the 9th of May. At the same time, when we come here this morning, we get another letter which basically tells us that the ROS does not recognize the CEC and of course the office bearers. So I think this is unfortunately this is where we are at. Yeah? Complete disregard for the fact that we have a general election around the corner. Complete disregard for the fact that this kind of a decision would put immense pressure on the party. But as the SG has said, insofar as we are concerned, this is yet another challenge. We will not be cowed by the ROS. We will take them on and we will fight till the very end. Okay?
Can you tell us what time the letters were received?
This morning about 11?
No, actually the official time is on the fax itself.
Sorry.
You can see that the first letter was received 11:49 a.m., which is the letter allowing the adjournment subsequently. And the second letter was faxed 5:25 p.m., 6 hours later. But we received it only this morning because we are busy outside and this was after office hours by the time we came in to our fax box.
About the nomination process again,
Yes.
is the support letter from the SG to use a party symbol, is that necessary for the...
Yes, because otherwise anyone can just log into.
It's not support, it's authority letter.
It's not a letter in support, it's a letter which authorizes the
Authorization letter.
It authorizes the candidate to use the party logo. Because otherwise anybody can just appear and say that they want to also use the party logo. So that is a requirement, an official requirement. Sorry, yes.
So that means that technically and officially DAP is not contesting these general elections because you're using the logos of PAS and PKR. So you have no DAP presence at all.
Well, it may come down to that, but I think ultimately the DAP is contesting. But under which symbol we will contest, that is the question that has to be answered.
A borrowed symbol.
Still DAP.
Still
Okay.
Yes, Andrew, sorry.
Since the Election Commission finally responded to the earlier matter of ROS, can Election Commission override the ROS notice?
Interesting question. We just don't trust it.
Say that again. I didn't.
Can we
Can
trust?
Election Commission override the notice issued by the ROS?
Well, that is something, that's the problem, you see. At the end of the day, we cannot take that risk. Whether they can override, they will have to make a decision on Saturday morning.
This one is letting say
Yeah.
there's a black and white letter. Then
Yeah, unless they're prepared to give us something in black and white. But even if they give us something in black and white, yeah, how do you expect us to trust them? Given the fact that, as I said earlier, we asked for postponements, you know, they allow the postponement, but then they take action in the meanwhile.
Let me just read the Nation Insider report on what the Election Commission said. Wan Ahmad, he said, can use their logo because the problem with ROS is not a problem of deregistering the party. The only problem is that ROS did not recognize the CEC. And then, so the DAP leadership needs to meet the ROS whether today or tomorrow to resolve this problem or get an explanation as to which list CEC the ROS recognizes. So he's not saying that we are going to be allowed to use it, because if our CEC is not recognized, we can't issue our authorization letters. That's exactly what he said.
So regardless of, let's say the SPR does issue a black and white letter saying that you can use a logo, but you're not prepared to take the chance that you still go ahead and use PAS and PKR.
Yeah, as I said, unless there is a clarity and certainty in this issue, we are not going to risk it. We will still intend to contest the elections in spirit as well in flesh, even if not in symbol, by using either the PAS symbol in Peninsular Malaysia or the PKR symbol in East Malaysia.
Even if they issue a letter, you still go ahead and use your coalition party.
Issue letter in one sense, I think we've got to look at the contents. The most important letter that should be issued is to withdraw this letter. That's most crucial. Yeah, I'll ask Saudara Mustafa to express and commit the commitment of PAS on this issue. Thank you.
Terima kasih. No, we have seen the letter sent by ROS, and to me, I have no doubt that it's politically motivated to put the AP in confusion, because there is constraint of time, less than 48 hours, and you cannot take risks. If you don't go with an authorized symbol, then you become an independent candidate. We are partners here, so we are ever ready to assist our partners in times of need. And in fact, I think the first time Brother Keshan mentioned about the possibility of DAP using PAS symbol, because DAP might not be allowed to use its own, I think about a few weeks back, and I have responded to that. And both the Musyidul Ampas, Tuan Guru Haji Abdul Aziz, and Tuan Guru Datuk Sri Abdul Hadi responded by saying that we have no problems with that. We are assisting DAP. And today, when I was told, I was informed of the situation, and CM Badr Lengwa communicated with me. I was taking my flight from Penang to KL and supposed to go back to Terengganu, but I stopped short because I've got to be in KL to see that everything is done correctly without any risk. And today, this afternoon, I contacted both the Musyidul Am and the President just to formally inform them this is the situation now. And both of them say, no problem, we are with DAP, inshallah. So there is no problem at all for DAP to use PAS symbol. So our stand is very clear that in terms of the signing of the Surat Watika, the authorized letter to use the symbol, I think it's normal practice for the Secretary General of each party to sign it. And I'm signing on behalf of PAS, and I'm ready to sign every Watika that is needed by the AP, inshallah. So there won't be any problem. We have discussed, and we are going to execute it, inshallah. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Any questions for Saudara Mustafa? Kalau tidak, Saudara Saifuddin.
Terima kasih Saudara Sakit Siang Mustafa. Pendirian PKR adalah untuk ROS meletakkan DAP dalam situasi yang sukar dalam tempoh 48 jam sebelum penerimaan calon adalah satu tindakan yang sangat buruk. DAP adalah sekutu penting dalam Pakatan Rakyat, mempunyai pengaruh yang kuat dan merupakan rakan utama dalam mengukuhkan perpaduan dan kekuatan Pakatan Rakyat. Hari ini PKR menghimpunkan semua calon Parlimen dan DUN di Kuala Lumpur untuk menyerahkan watika yang telah ditandatangani oleh Presiden Parti. Ya. Semua sekali, termasuk Sabah Sarawak. Kenapa kita buat hari ini? Sebab Sabah Sarawak membabitkan soal logistik. Dia datang ambil watika, dia ambil wang deposit calon dan deposit poster, kemudian dia akan terbang balik ke mana? Kapit, Sibuti, Bakalalan. Ini soal logistik. Bayangkan dalam keadaan sekarang, situasi yang dimulakan oleh ROS secara sangat tidak bertanggungjawab, DAP berada dalam keadaan yang sukar. Soal logistik, ya. Dari sudut administratif, dari sudut timing seperti disebut oleh saudara Gobin tadi. Dan sepatutnya suasana sekarang kami tidak berada dalam sesi sidang media ini. Kami harus menyelesaikan semua checklist yang terakhir untuk memastikan calon-calon yang telah dipilih menyelesaikan semua urusan mengisi borang penamaan calon, membayar deposit, mengisi borang A sumpah kerahsiaan, mendapatkan tanda tangan daripada returning officer Pesuruhjaya Sumpah, mengambil watika dan kemudian balik menemui jentera untuk mempersiapkan proses perarakan penamaan calon. Sementara PAS dan Pakatan dan PKR boleh menyelesaikan mengikut jadual, DAP berada dalam keadaan sekarang. Kerana itulah maka PKR apabila diberi maklum tentang kedudukan ini oleh Saudara Kuan Eng dan juga Saudara Kit, saya sendiri menerima panggilan dari LOK, maka kami mengadakan mesyuarat tergempar yang melibatkan Ketua Umum Saudara Anwar Ibrahim, dan kami juga membuat ketetapan bahawa sebagai menunjukkan comradeship, kekitaan dan esprit de corps Pakatan Rakyat, maka kami bersetuju apa juga keputusan yang akan dicadangkan kepada PKR yang membawa kepada implikasi watika untuk calon-calon DAP itu ditandatangani oleh Presiden PKR sebagai borok simbol, maka kami bersetuju. Dan Presiden Dr. Wan Azizah juga sudah dimaklumkan, dan walaupun beliau sudah pun menyelesaikan semua sekali tanda tangan watika, tapi beliau boleh bila-bila masa saja mempersiapkan watika untuk calon-calon DAP. Ya, jadi itu komitmen yang kami ulangi bagi pihak PKR dalam isu ini. Terima kasih.
Ada apa-apa soalan?
Are there any other consequences to the ROS not recognizing the CEC apart from the whole local?
I think this is unprecedented. This is the first time. 48 hours before, less than 48 hours before nomination day. This is completely unprecedented. No, that once you cannot use a symbol, you have to contest as an independent. That is the deliberate intention. Once you contest as independent, then you are not able to maximize your support because there will be other independents. You will not be the only independent candidate. I mean, you will not be the only independent candidate. There will be other independent candidates. So they muddy the waters. You cannot maximize your support to defeat by sectional.
You can't use a common symbol.
Yes.
This is parallel to the re-registration of armament.
No, it's not parallel.
No, it's not.
the restoration of UMNO did not happen 48 hours before nomination. This is unparalleled.
It's through court.
This is unparalleled. And the deity restoration, as what Saudara Mustafa said, was by court order. This is by administrative action. And when you talk about ROS, by administrative action means, because you know ROS works under the operation of the minister. You look, as I mentioned just now, Regina, 2 letters in the same day, you know. 2 different letters on the same day. 48 hours before nomination day. This is unparalleled. This is unprecedented. This is completely unacceptable.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, this is a question to Dr. Mustafa as well. From your members, from media members, will be affected once DAP uses both the past media symbols for elections?
I didn't get your question.
Ada kesan tak kalau kita gunakan simbol PAS? Ada kesan kepada PAS, kesan negatif kalau
No.
Increase.
It would increase the support. I think what the ROS did, I think is a blessing in disguise in a way, you know.
Jangan cakap macam itu. Saya sudah sakit loh. Itu jangan macam ini. Kena itu. Saya sudah sakit loh. Mana itu?
That's why I say it could be. Dia kadang-kadang orang bagi kita sakit, tapi ada perkara baik. Yeah. No doubt it's unprecedented for the past. I think since independence.
Pure victimization. Pure victimization and persecution here. It's terrible.
Why you don't think the Chinese votes will be affected?
If we use PAS, I will say that let it be spoken in the ballot box. We will let the voters, including you mentioned the Chinese community, the Indians and the Malays, let their voice be spoken in the ballot box where we use PAS and PKR. Because of what they have done, they have victimized and persecuted the DAP.
So you won't be affected.
We will let that voice be heard in the ballot box.
So their votes.
I mean, as I said, let that be known then. Let that be known then.
We'll see the results in the election.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, we need to wrap. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
One last question. I think on another matter, apparently Hijrah Najib is
No, I think the one this is
Enough for a day lah. Enough for a day.
You know, this is an unparalleled attack on the DAP.
Enough for a day.
I'm not in the mood to go and address other issues. We are talking about survival here. I know, I understand, but we're looking at survival here. No?
You want me to sign?
Okay, we take a photograph together.
You solve this on the letter authorization.
We'll sign it and leave it to you.
Itu balik, you kena datang sini. Saudara Mustafa, you kena datang sini. Oh, okay.
Lupa bilang keadilan, saya bilang PAS.
Jom ni kau.
You have to look at the camera. Look at the camera so they can shoot you direct.
Malam ni dia cari balik surat.
Okay, how are you?
Pukul 3.
Jingga ni setahu aku ada 4 perkara. Nombor 1, demokrasi.
Dia akan memastikan hak kita di